this is Lynn with Vicki Lee Bags. Hope you're having a really good day. Today we are going to make a new sewing caddy. I am so over this one. I've had it for about 5 years. It was my first little project that I actually did, and as far as making a sewing caddy, and I'm just over it. I'm over the fabric. It's been good. It's still in perfect condition, but I just want to update the fabric and the size of it. Actually, I need something a little bigger. So this is what we are making today. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that fun? And look at these pockets right here are plastic, so you can see through them, and they're connected to these pockets here, and the inside is just absolutely adorable. A girlfriend of mine gave me this fabric recently, and I just can't thank her enough. She actually gave me lots of fabric, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Anyway, this is what we're going to make today, and I'm just going to get my things ready, and we'll get started. Okay, so your cutout pieces are actually going to be very, very easy for this project, okay? So you've got your outside of your bag, your caddy, and your inside, and they're all cut out the exact same size, okay? So you're going to have 4 of your focal fabric, okay? And all 4 of them are 21 inches wide by 12 inches in height. Then you're going to have 4 of your your inside fabric and its pockets. All of those 4 are exactly 21 by 12, okay? Heavily interfaced. Everything here is heavily interfaced. Okay, so we've got 2 cutout pieces. We're probably not going to need the width of this. This is for your handles. But as I was cutting it out, it just lined up, so I just went ahead and cut it at the same width. But your handles are going to be 21 inches by 6. Again, they don't need to be 21 inches, but you'll see when you're cutting it, it will make a little sense. You'll just already have these at that length. We're going to cut them down, but I went ahead and heavily interfaced this because I imagine there's going to be a lot of things in this caddy, and I want these handles to be, nice and firm. Okay, so 21 by 6. You're going to have 4 of your little trim pieces for your plastic, and they're going to measure 2 inches by 21 inches. Okay, and you're going to have your plastic again, which is 4 inches by 21 inches, and you're going to need 2 of those. Okay, I'm going to get my things and we will get started. Okay, so we're going to start on these. And just to get it out of the way, I thought we would start on these now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2-inch piece and you're going to fold it in half. And you're going to line it up with one of the edges of your plastic. Hope you can see that. And I'm going to use my little clips. Okay. I'm going to move my needle, by the way, to where I'm just sewing at exactly 1/4 of an inch so that I can fold this over and then over again. Okay, so it's important that you keep it kind of close to the edge, or you're not going to have enough fabric when you fold it over to cover the other side. So you don't really need to watch me do this whole thing, but if you have problems sewing the plastic, which some people say they do, it sticks to their machine. I've never had that happen to me. So what I would do is maybe take a piece of tissue or something underneath to just help this go over it really well. Like I said, I've never had a problem, ever, 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 and I've worked with this plastic, quite a bit. So, but yeah, you could put a piece of tissue or something underneath it to help it to feed. So I'm going to take this over to my machine, and I'm going to sew pretty close to the edge, okay, about between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4, okay? So then when I get done with that, I want to show you what we're going to do next. So hopefully that went well for you. And what I'm going to do now is just kind of finger press this along the seam. Okay, obviously you're not going to want to use your iron. You'll melt your plastic, okay? So just give that a little finger press. Turn it over. And now we're going to fold it up against the other side. And you're going to want to use your clips again. And the idea is to get it to just cover that underneath piece perfectly. And then you're going to make a small seam really close to the edge here. And it'll just make it have a very nice finish. That'll look really good against your bag. Okay? So I'm realizing now I'm too far into this to go back, but I'm realizing now I may have made it just 1/4 of an inch longer like I do my binding when I make some quilts. I used 2 inches. I probably could have used 2 1/4 for a little bit of playroom, but you know what, if you just go slow, I think that's going to be really nice. Okay, so I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to do my other side exactly the same, and then we're ready to move on to the main part of the caddy. Okay, I just finished with my little clear pockets, and I got to tell you, they came with some challenges, so I don't know why I had such a rough time with these today. I hope it goes really well for you. So I'm going to set those aside. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we have our 4 pieces. We just need 2 of them, because what we're going to do now is we're going to make pockets. So what we do is we take these and we fold them in half. Okay, give them a little pin if you need to. I need to change the thread on my machine, so and you don't need to watch me do this part. All I'm going to do is sew along here, all the way along, and I'm going to pull the whole thing through, okay? Then I'm going to take it over to the, actually, you know what? I want you to see how I make my pockets. So, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take both of these over, and I'm going to sew them like this, inside out first. Pull them through, and before I iron them, I want to show you what we're going to do. Okay, so go ahead and do 2 of them, just like I told you. And your normal seam allowance, mine's usually a little more than 1/4 of an inch, okay, less than 1/2 an inch, somewhere, in there. And I will be right back. So I just finished sewing up these pockets. So I'm going to reach through. Grab it by the seam, okay? And pull it through that way. This interfacing is so nice. It's Pellon 808, okay? I use it for so many projects. We will obviously be going to the ironing board. Through. Okay, there we go. Okay. I talk about this almost in every video, so we're going to just do it again. Nobody cares. Okay, so you can pull it like this, and you could take it over to the ironing board and just have this nice pocket. Okay, that's going to be really nice. You know what I'm going to say. I usually like to bring mine in just a little bit so my pocket is just a little bit more decorative. I just think it's fun. I don't always do it, but I do it the majority of the time. And just make sure your seam is, nice and straight before you press it real good, okay? And then I'm going to do the same with this one. And when I come back, we are going to go ahead and attach these. This is the time that we're going to attach our clear pockets in front of them, okay? So I'll meet you back here when I'm done with my ironing, and then we'll put these on. So what we're going to do now is attach this to the pocket. And boy, this is where you see how crooked I got this, but you know what, this is fun. I don't really care. So take one of your main pieces, and we've got to figure out where we're going to put our gusset. Okay, so where this pocket is going to be, it's got to be out of the way of where we're going to have our gusset. I want this to have a really nice large gusset, so I'm going to come in about 4 inches, because it's going to make about an 8-inch gusset. That's a really nice wide bag that we're going to make. And boy, do we have the room, because we cut it 21 inches, okay? So we're going to come up 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom of my pocket is going to sit right there. Okay, and I'm going to put pins in just here on the sides, okay? Because I don't want it to be in the way of this pocket that we need to attach. I guess I can do another one inside here. Okay, now you're going to take one of your plastic pockets and you're going to set it down to line up with the edge of this. This may be a little bit difficult to pin, so just try to do it the very best you can. And you don't need maybe too many, just a few to give it the idea that that's where you want to put it. It's nice and thick. This is going to be a really nice caddy. That way we could put this on at the very same time. We don't have to do a bunch of different steps. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we're going to do the same with this one, but I don't have to do both of them on camera. Okay, I'm going to do both of these off camera because I need to change my thread as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to sew it really close to the edge here at the bottom, and then you're going to do it again right up here, so you have a nice double stitch line right here, okay? Go slow, make it nice, make it look really neat, and then we're going to do our little cross lines to form actual pockets, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, so I hope that went really well for you. And I just wanted to share with you that you're only going to have one opportunity to do this next part if you care to. And that would be, excuse me, that would be to make small sections sewing to make these pockets small. Because your main body ones, I'm probably only going to do 2 lines here, so 2 large pockets here for these. So right now we're going to deal with just the plastic part, but we have to get the main body out of the way. So you have the option right now of sewing from the bottom up. We never go from the top down because you can squish the whole thing by the time you get to the bottom. We don't want to do that. So you always want to start at the bottom. And you can make these pockets as many as you want. So you kind of have to take time right now and decide what you're going to put in your clear pockets. Are you just going to have, I wouldn't put anything real sharp, but let's pretend that, you know, maybe take some things out of your current sewing bag and decide how you want your pockets to be on this little part. You don't have to do that. If you want, you can just make them the same one line, which is going to attach everything to the back of your bag. That's going to be your choice. Okay? So I'm going to take the first option right now. I'm going to put some gray thread on, and I'm going to make a few small ones. I'm going to see what's in my sewing bag and see what I need for these to hold. And then I'm just going to kind of do a quick measuring, okay? And I'm going to let you see what I do when I come back. Okay, so this is how it went. See, I have all these little pockets here. And I'm really, really pleased because now I have a place for my buttons and my other little fun things that I like to put on bags. A place for all my little gems too. I have lots more that I can put in here. And that's just going to make it really, really easy to find. And I even have some of my cutting blades that I'm going to be able to put in there. I'll take them out of their package so that they work well. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Okay, so now what I need to do is we're going to attach the whole thing and make pockets for these guys. And you know, it worked out really well because I thought about when I do these, instead of just a single line, I think I would like a double line because it is plastic and we did perforate it. So my thought is, how perfect is that? Because that's probably where I want to put my these pockets anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and sew parallel, start down here, so I can make my little double seam, come up here, and I'm just going to continue up and then do my little back and forth right there. Same with over here. I'm going to do my double line, come on up, just keep on going, and do it here, and then one more time over here, and that's going to be really nice. And then I'm going to do my other pocket, but you can see that at the very, very end. So be sure to take time to pull everything out that you're going to put in this caddy for whatever project you're going to use it for, you know, sewing or anything, crafts, whatever you want to put in there. And have fun with this, and I'll meet you back here when I'm finished with this. Okay, I am back. So that went well. I finished both of them. They came out great. You know, couldn't be happier. I wish this came out a little nicer, but, you know, oh, well. Okay, so this is a very, very important step that I don't want you to skip. Go ahead and turn both of these over and make sure it's the top of the back, okay, the very, very top. And you're going to set it on your mat, and you're going to find a straight line on your mat, and you are going to draw a line an inch down, okay? You probably remember this from a past video because we're going to turn it under at some point, but I want to make sure this is a good time to do it. So measure down exactly 1 inch and just draw a line. That'll come in handy in a little while, okay? Make sure it's a good strong line, and do it with your next one as well. Make sure you're at the very top. Okay. It's going to go really quick from here on out. And we'll iron that later because I want to move on to this next step. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the same exact thing. Here are my two inside pieces, and here are my pockets, okay? So we're going to fold them inside out. We're going to sew it. We're going to pull it through, iron it, okay? Do that with both of these. When you're done making your pockets, you're going to measure 4 inches up. You're going to sew your pocket on exactly like we did the last one, except without the plastic. We're not going to have plastic on the inside unless you choose to, okay? And make your pockets where you want them, okay? Go through your sewing things and make the inside exactly how you want the inside of your bag to be. Then we're going to make our handles. We're going to put it together, and we're done. So I'm going to do all that off camera because it's just redundant and you already know what to do, and I'll meet you back here when that part is finished. Okay, so all of my pockets are sewn on exactly where I want them, and before we go any further, we need to turn both of these over. Make sure you're on the tops though, okay? You want to mark on the top. We're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to come down an inch. So follow one of your lines and draw a line. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is now you're going to take it and you're going to fold the top piece to the line. Okay, that's just going to be ironed, real hot iron, so it'll make a really nice crease. Do all 4. Excuse me. Okay? And after you get that done, we're going to start on our handles, okay? But go ahead and iron all 4 of these down. Okay? And I'll meet you back here. Okay, so now we're at the part to make our handles, and there's no big surprise here. Basically, what we're going to do is fold it in half, and then fold these in towards the center, and then press the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I want you to sew along this edge and along this edge, because I have a feeling there's plenty here to just make both of our handles. I don't think we're going to use that other piece, okay, because this is half of it, and that's going to be a really good size. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you back here, and then you know what, we're going to assemble our bag, okay? Okay, so once I got my strap done, I realized I was going to need both pieces, and it was just too short for what I wanted to do. But I took mine, a step further. So look at how cute this handle is. Isn't that fun? Isn't that cute? And I'm going to leave these really long because they'll just go down into my bag and just make it, a little bit stronger. Word of caution, if you're using upholstery fabric like I am today, and you want to do this folding it again technique, you're going to need a heavy-duty machine. I have a very heavy-duty machine that sews through this table if I needed it to. But, and if you're just using, regular cotton, it should be fine. Actually, a breeze. But not if you're using this, very heavy upholstery fabric. So, and basically, all I did here is I just folded it over, and I put some clips in it. Okay, and I just left, let's see, folded it over till I got to about 5 inches from the end, okay? So, till about there. just makes it, you know, a really nice handle. I don't know what I was thinking when I left the handles, you know, really wide. I knew I wanted a stout handle, but I just, I didn't need it that stout unless I was going to fold it over like this. And again, like I said, that's really a cute handle. So I'm going to do this one more time. Leave 5 inches. My machine is really loud, but boy, I'll tell you what, I really appreciated all the power. It's got 60% more power, and I just feel like for all the real heavy sewing I've been doing lately, I need it. I'm playing around a little bit more with leather and things like that, so. Okay, so our handles are done. Isn't that cute? Woohoo! Okay, so now what we're going to do is just set that aside, and we're going to work with just the focal with the plastic on it. And you're going to make them right sides together. Line it up. Make sure your folded part that we folded it down is up. You do want that to be up when you sew it. Okay. And go ahead and sew it all the way till you get to the top, remembering to have this be open, okay? That's really important. And for most bags, actually this is kind of a bag, but it's really going to be a caddy because we're making it, you know, real heavy duty, and there's just not much difference though, okay? So you're going to sew this all the way around. Same with this one. Now normally we leave a hole at the bottom to pull it through, but because we're doing a drop-in style, we're not going to leave the hole. We're going to set it in when we're finished. So go ahead and pin this all the way around. Go ahead and sew this up. It's exactly the design of this bag. We don't have to worry about that. And then when we get done with that, we're going to make our gussets. Show you how we're going to do that. And then we're going to put it all together. Okay? So I'll meet you back here when I finish that. Okay, so I sewed both of them up. And we're going to work on our boxed corners or our gussets. And what we're going to do is take your pointy finger and put it in one of the corners, okay? And go ahead and pinch it this way. Make sure that your seam here is lined up with your seam there. The best way to do that, though, is to look inside. You'd be surprised how far off you could be. Okay, so just go ahead and pinch it, pinch it, pinch it until you get to the first seam you come to. These aren't exactly lined up really well. So we're going to go with the one that's a little bit lower. And we're going to make this seated. Some of you know what that means. And basically what that means is it's going to be sitting on the pockets when you're done. And you'll see what that means as we go along. So make sure they're even. Your outside and your inside are correct when you look inside, okay? So it made the perfect, what I call V right there. And you're going to want to pin that because it will slip on you. Okay, we'll do the same with the other side. Put your pointy finger in the corner and just squish this down. And make sure your seam lines up on the outside as it does on the inside. So when you look inside of there, you should be right on the same seam, and that gives you the perfect V. And then go ahead and put a pin. Now you've seen me do this before, but what I like to do now is this seam you're seeing right here is the very bottom of your pocket, okay? So what I do is I take my thumbnail and I score it right at the bottom because you can feel where the pocket ends. And that's about where you want to sew. So it's not like we're going to measure up because some of you might have a different measurement than me. So this way you can make it be exactly perfect the way you want is just score it right where you feel the bottom of the pocket, okay? And sometimes you can even just fold it like this and pinch it. But mine's pretty darn thick. I'm not going to rely on that. I'm just going to continue to score it. And then what I'm going to do is take a pen, some way to mark it. See, I can see my score line really well. You probably cannot because it's on camera, but you will see yours at home. And just give it a little marking right where you see your score line that you made with your nail. Okay, this is really, really difficult to try to show you on camera, but at home, you can feel the bottom of your pocket through there. And that is where you're going to sew on both sides. Okay, score it on both sides. Then I want you to take it and I want you to go ahead and just cut this off. Leave 1/4 of an inch when you're done. Do the same thing with this one, okay? Reach in with your finger, pinch it, score it with the bottom line. See, these two lines don't line up very well, so you're going to have to use the bottom one. I don't know what happened there, but, you know, I think they just call it life. And you're just going to score along here. Make sure it's even on this side. Okay, you're not going to come up here and score because those would be off. You want to use the bottom one. Unfortunately, that's just the way this one worked out. It's the liner part, so I'm not, too worried about that. So go ahead and sew it across. Do the same over here, and we'll look at them when we are finished, okay? Alrighty, so I got them both done. The corners look great. Let's see what it looks like when you turn them right side out. Actually, no, this one needs to stay like this. What am I thinking? I'm not thinking. But I am going to fold this top over before I put it in the other side. This is the fun part. If we need to do some adjustments, we will, and I'll show you how to do that. So get this one out of the way. This is the one we need to turn right side out. I love the little pink edging around the pocket. The little plastic edging is cute. It's also going to show off our seating. You'll see what we mean by that if you haven't done it before. Woohoo! This is going to be a nice big caddy. Okay, make sure your edges are turned over. Okay, so now you know why we scored with our thumbnail because we wanted it to be right on the edge. Okay, so it is seated on the bottom pockets. Isn't that fun? I think it came out really, really cute. Okay, so I'm just kind of finger pressing my seam. Okay, and now you're going to take this one and you're simply going to set it in. Okay, just kind of push it out. Push your corners in to the other corner. And sometimes you might have to do a little adjustment, and I will show you what we need to do if that happens. Okay, so sometimes it doesn't fit really well. Sometimes it'll feel like it's too big, and it might just be. But I play with it first before I do any sewing adjustments, because it could just be the way I have it set in. Okay, so this liner appears to be just slightly too big. I need to make it a little smaller. And how I do that is we're going to start about 1/4 of an inch up. Pinch this like this. And we're just going to do the smallest amount. Okay, it doesn't take a lot. It does not take a lot. And we're going to start here at the, you don't want to start here at the bottom seam. Okay, that is just unfortunately going to have to be fixed. That's just the way that one's going to have to be. But you start here and you ever so slightly come in, just tiniest bit. Okay, just the smallest amount. And you're going to make a very small adjustment because it's just a little bit too big. So you're just going to take in the side that is too big. Little back stitch, come up. I'd rather you take just a little tiny bit. And you might do this a few times. Actually, I've had to do it a few times, just a little tiny bit. Don't exactly know why it's off. And unfold this top part. Don't cut anything at this point because you just don't know if it's exactly right. So you did. You made it just a little bit smaller, and we'll see how that fits. Okay. So now on your, aren't you glad you ironed these? It just makes it so nice. So you're going to take your little seams and you're going to pin that together. And you're going to go around about every couple of inches and pin. This I'm going to do right on the seam because I want that. It's very important that the edges are lined up. Okay. This caddy is just going to be so cute. I just love this fabric. Okay. So now you can take your handles, and you want the pretty side, if you will, to be on the outside, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck these in here. I'm not going to be real scientific, but I'm going to line it up with my pin and make sure that's towards the middle. I don't want my handles way up here. That's just personal preference. I'm going to push mine down to just be right about there. Okay, I don't want a lot of that showing. I don't need it, okay? I really don't, because this is just about perfect for where I would like it to be. But I'm actually not there yet. I need to do a little bit more pinning before I just pin those in place as well, okay? So every couple of inches, put a pin. you can take it out if your handle bumps into it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pin this all the way around, place my handles where I want them, and we will talk about how we're going to proceed. Okay? Okay, I got it all pinned. I got my handles in just the right place where I want them. And I just want to let you know that you have a couple choices right now. You can, of course, take it over to your machine, like I usually do, and you can sew it together. This one I am going to go ahead and glue together. Good reason for that. This bag is so stiff that it is going to cause me way more agony than I'm willing to do for a sewing bag, for a sewing caddy. So I just wanted to show you that is an option. It's not really cheating, but I just feel like I want to do that with this bag. So let me show you the glue that we're going to use today. Okay, this is my favorite glue in the whole wide world. It's called Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to show you how I do this. You're going to leave your pins in place. And less is always more. Less is always more. And I'm going to start here where I'm pretty sure that you can see me. You're going to leave your pins where they go. You're going to stick the nose in, okay, like this. And you're just going to give it a little squeeze. Make sure you can see exactly where your glue is going. And you're just going to make a nice little bead. And gently, so that it doesn't squish out the top, just give it a very, very soft pinch. Never mind where your pin is. Don't worry about it. Just come close to it. Give it a little squeeze. Hopefully you can see what you're doing. You need to be able to see so that you have some glue, but not too much and not too little, okay? And just give it a very soft pinch. This is so important, you guys. If you don't want to do it that way, you know, that's fine. But I've made enough of these with purse organizers that I'm telling you right now, it's going to cause me a lot of problems, okay? It's going to shift and because it's really, really thick. Okay, so I'm going to do this all the way around and leave my pins in. In about an hour from now, I'm going to take my pins out, and everywhere where I had a pin, I'm going to put a little dab of glue in there, okay? And if you still want to, after you know it's dry, maybe the next day, and you want to sew it, that's fine. If you want to sew it at this point, that's fine. I just don't want to go through that. I know it's going to be agony for me. But I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what you think of the bag, or what I think of the bag. Okay, so I'll be right back. All I have left to do is I'm going to remove my pins and put a little bit of glue where my pins were. And I've put plenty of glue around my handles. I tested them. They're very, very strong. You know, I just can't say enough good things about this bag. It really, really is an excellent design. And I really am going to enjoy my little see-through pockets down here. It just gives it a whole new class all by itself. So, you know, I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you very much. And please visit my Facebook page. Vicki Lee Bags Facebook page is so much fun. I try to put something on it every day or every other day. And it's just a great way for us to keep in touch, okay? So this is Lynn with Vicki Lee Bags, and I hope you have a really good day. Thank you.